What's up? I'm Matt Vincent, CEO, founder of HVIII brand goods, and also amateur runner, amateur running enthusiast, jogger. So I've been running now for 6 weeks. It's kind of interesting, the big picture stuff that's starting to change and what I like about it. So these are the 3 biggest things I've learned from the last 6 weeks of running. The first one is that no matter what it is, whether it's strength training or this or cycling, consistency is the key. Is that you just have to do something every day. Now, whether that's I'm in the gym and I just run for 5 minutes as a warm up, which is something that I couldn't do when I started, like run 5 minutes straight. That wasn't an option. It just beat my knee and hip up, or I really thought it was gonna be worse. And so I would limit how much I would actually run because I was expecting that pain to come later. But it's incredible to me that in just 6 weeks, how much can change. That I've gone from 2 and 3 minutes here and there at a time and then walk a little bit and then another 3 minutes to get my hour done, to now I can run straight for an hour pretty much no problem once I'm warm. Still takes time for that momentum to go. Like even if I'm coming in to just do an hour run, it's not like I just hop on the treadmill and just can plow through it. It's like I'm gonna walk for probably 5 minutes and then I'll run for 5 minutes and then I'm gonna walk for a little bit and then try the next bit. It'll be 10 minutes worth of running. And then that usually just builds this momentum to where I don't really stop much. And I kind of get my breathing under control. I get it together. But I love feeling the progress of how long I can just continue to do it, even after a short 6 weeks of training for this. I didn't pick a great program. I didn't do any of that. The only thing that we've done is just be consistent. And it's amazing what that's changed for me and my ability to run longer at a better pace. One of the other things that's been a really big surprise is how well my knee and hip have held up. Now, I'm doing everything I can to make sure they're staying held up. From hot bath really helps and soaks with Epsom salt after runs. Running the Power Dot a lot. Compression boots from Rapid Reboot I use after long runs. I don't really need them after the hour, but after a 3 hour, they make a big difference. But the knees not bug me at all. It's tired after the long efforts, but it's not pain. And I haven't done anything yet that's brought knee pain to any point of like, yo, I pushed it too hard. And makes me question about whether or not this is a smart idea. After I did my 3 hour run the other day on the Katy Trail, yeah, I was beat up. Like I was pretty crippled walking around the house after I got home, but I did 12 miles. That was pretty much a max effort type of push. I should have some banged up. Like if I came in and lifted to the equivalent of that, like I'm gonna be sore, I'm gonna be pretty beat up, but I'm not in pain. And the next morning after a good night's sleep and following my recovery protocol, I felt pretty good and I came and ran for an hour. And that's not a big deal now. The knee and hip and low back feel better the days that I'm getting the hour in of some type of movement like that. So whether that's on the bike and whether that's running or anything, it's made a big difference in how well they feel every day. Now I'm doing a lot of other things with the knee right now and hip to make sure that that is going the right way, and we'll cover that in another video of like what rehab exercises and things else I'm doing. But I'm really surprised that I haven't had to fight with it more than I am. The knee and hip are good. This was something that was a big concern that is becoming less and less of a concern. The number 3, you don't want to get caught in a bar doing the wrong number 3 and then they murder all your friends. 3, not 3. So number 3, being outside's the best way to do this. Right now we're kind of transitioning into spring in St. Louis, so the weather's pretty rad outside when it's not rainy and gross. The biggest problem I have with going outside is where I have to go run. Luckily, I'm pretty close where we live to Forest Park, so it's really easy to just throw on shoes and I can be in the park in a half a mile. So that's, in 10 minutes, give or take, I can be in the park and on trail. Running outside's been awesome. Like if I'm gonna do a 3 hour, doing that 90-minute out and back is the way to do it, because I have to get back. Like I have to play those games with myself, because it's too easy on the treadmill that I can just fucking stop. Nothing happens. Man, being accountable to myself that like I haven't missed any of the run workouts yet, I'm pretty proud of. Where I haven't been totally consistent is still with food. I'm not trying to do this as weight loss. Like I'm not trying to get better at a sports performance and stay in a caloric deficit. That's stupid. That's gonna be compromising pain. I'm gonna have more issues from that because the body doesn't have calories to heal. Now, I'm not gaining weight either, but I seem to be pretty consistent in the low to mid 230s, which very, very cool. But getting outside makes such a big difference, and the bike's the same way. You know, what I really didn't expect from this is I expected I was gonna spend way more of the time on the bike so far, but I haven't had to. I would rather run right now than bother with the bike, which is kind of an interesting mental shift. I really expected to wanna, okay, 3-hour day, I'm gonna go do that on the bike because it's just less taxing. But there's something great about running that I've always wanted, and it's the fact that you can just put on shoes and leave and just go outside and do it. Having the setup here at Dope to come train and it being really close to the house, that level of convenience is a big portion of why any of this is being successful. I know that I could just go outside. I know that, but I don't always want to just go outside. I don't want to dress for it. I don't want to do any of that. And coming here and getting on the treadmill and being able to watch a movie, it takes 10 minutes from the time I decide I want to do it to being here on the treadmill. And there's advantages, right? I like the treadmill because it is consistent and flat, and the little bit of cushion with the turf is nice. I also been watching Star Wars. Been just plowing through the Star Wars universe. Got through The Mandalorian. I just watched Rogue One and then A New Hope. I think I've seen, or The Last Jedi. I've seen them all, but they're good to watch. I also noticed that my intervals work pretty naturally depending on what type of fight's going on. I just get excited. But I'm pretty happy with it. In 6 weeks of being able to go from not running at all on a regular basis to now running almost 30 miles this past week. Like, I'm pretty happy with that, dude. It's been a big change and a big shift, and I like how it's making my body react. I like having a thing to train for. I like having to be consistent. And that's the biggest factor of all of it, is still the biggest factor of all of it is still just the consistency. But those are the big 3 things I've learned so far from the last 6 weeks of training. I'm curious to know what I know in another 6 weeks. I'm gonna be doing like multiple 3 and 4 hour runs. So 4-hour one's gonna be the next big number to knock off next week. We're gonna be on the road. So I've gotta figure that out one morning while we're on the road. That's a long time to go wander around. Like, it's one thing to like leave and just go cruise around your neighborhood and be like, oh, I knocked out an hour, did a few laps around the same places. In 4 hours, I'm gonna cover 16 miles. Like, I gotta find the thing. And there's a big difference, however, how my body feels running on gravel and a trail versus concrete. I don't particularly care for concrete for too long. I notice it immediately as soon as I'm stepping on it versus on the gravel. So I'm trying to stick to the gravel stuff and trail work and not as much road stuff. But those are the 3 things I learned. I hope you guys are trying some new stuff. And if you want to get into the running thing, check out Roster Runner. He's my coach. He's on Instagram, and follow along with what we're doing. I'm trying to share this content so that more people know what can be done. This was a thing that I was never going to be able to do. I'm not supposed to be a runner. I'm a 6 foot, 250, 240 pound strength athlete on a fake knee. I'm not gonna be a good runner, but what I just want you to know is you can get better at things. You can do it. That power to do it and improve is already within you, and it's just a matter of deciding to stick to it and chip away at it. Don't worry about how far or how fast you should be running, or, oh, I'm super slow, or having this weird comparison to a thing. Just go and enjoy being outside. Go enjoy a walk and then run as much as you feel like. And that soon can just change into more. Thank you guys for watching and following on with the run training. Leave me some comments and likes below. What other stuff would you like to know from a guy who doesn't run about running? Spread hate, always party.